Welcome to Rita's Kitchen. Today we're going to be doing a lasagna loaf. But first thing first, in Rita's Kitchen, what must you do? Wash your hands. Alright, I'm back. Hands are clean. Let's get started with making this lasagna loaf. I know what you guys are thinking. What is a lasagna loaf? Well, this is what a lasagna loaf is. It's actually a lasagna rolled up into pretty much a meatloaf form. So you have your pasta, your ingredients, and your cheeses and everything inside of your meat. On top of that, once it's done, you cut it down and then you're going to top it with some of your marinara or tomato sauce, your choice. So let's get started on the components that plays along. The meat I decided to go with is a turkey ground and a turkey Italian sausage. Now the turkey Italian sausage comes in a casing. So if you guys look at some of my older videos, I've showed you how to work with them on some of those videos. But what you do pretty much is just remove the meat from the casing and all you have is some mushy ground up meat. So I mixed those two together. I took a little bit of breadcrumb and added it, 1 egg, some Parmesan cheese, a little bit of minced garlic, and I put some oregano, a little black pepper, and a small amount of seasoning salt. Why? Because Italian sausage is already seasoned and you don't want to overpower it. So moving right along, my ingredients that's going in there, I went with a Barilla pasta shell, and I did cook it down a bit so it could get soft, so it could lay inside my meat nicely. And I'm just going to lay it down flat, and that's how it looks. It's movable, so that way, as you see, it's not going to be any problem with building this lasagna loaf. Next, I have a bowl of mushroom, green pepper, red peppers, and yellow peppers with the minced garlic mixed up in it, sauteed off. Then you want to chill them down for about 10 to 15 minutes, because what you don't want to do, you don't want to put hot ingredients in your meat. That way your meat won't become droopy and very loose, like where you can't even work with it. So you want your ingredients to be very chill. For my cheese, I went with just a shredded mozzarella. That's good. Everybody know what a shredded mozzarella look like. So moving right along, I have my pan. That's what you're going to need. Whatever you're going to build your lasagna loaf on, that's what you need to have present. So I'm going to go ahead and put some gloves on. I'm actually just taking a little bit of olive oil and just greasing my gloves up so my meat can be just a bit easier to work with in my ingredients, so I won't be all sticky. So you want to take you a nice amount of meat and spread it out. I'm going to let my camera guy come in a bit. You guys don't need to see me. You need to see how I'm doing this. And you can make this as big or as small as you like. Altogether, this is probably about 1.5 pounds of meat. It's only me and hubby, so this is a small loaf. So I got my meat right there formed. I'm going to go ahead and pat it down. And I just want to work it out a little more, building like a little small pool. And I'm doing that because I'm about to lay my pasta, my veg, and my cheese in. Cheese, you know, we all like our cheese. And if you want to add some ricotta or anything like that, feel free to. I didn't want any of that in mine today. Okay, I got a nice little pool going on there. So since these ingredients that I'm working with are strictly for this, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up with these gloves. You guys know what why I'm saying this, because I believe in cleanliness, and cross-contamination is just not what it is in my kitchen. But since this is strictly for this meal, we are good. So the first thing I want to put a layer down is of the mozz, just a nice little thin layer. Then for my pasta, and I'm gonna double up on my pasta, put our ingredients, our mushrooms and peppers and all that good stuff. Even though it's a loaf, we still gonna build it like a lasagna. We're going to put some more cheese there. Then we're going to go ahead and take our last 2 pasta sheets, lay them over the top. A little thin layer of the cheese. You don't get too much of that. Then we're going to go ahead and top it back off with some more of them ingredients. Now this is your last layer. So put it all in. Just spread it out nicely. And again, as you see how firm it stands, that's because I allowed my sauteed veg to go ahead and cool. Because if they were hot, they would just break this meat all the way down. And you don't want it to do that. You want it to be workable. Okay. Last bit of cheese. Okay, I'm going to let the camera guy just take a look at this so you guys can see how it's looking before I close it in with the other layer of meat. That's how we looking. This is definitely a lasagna loaf before I close it in. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and close it in and try to save a nice amount of your meat so it can get closed in over the top. And I'm going to show you so you won't be scared of your ingredients, how you could break this down into 2 and 3 sections. So this is a section, and just spread it out a bit. Pat it down, let your palm of your hand, just pat it. Try to like size it up with how big you done did that. See how nicely that did? That's what you're trying to do. Okay, so let's go to stage 2. Same technique. Take the palm of your hand, pat it down, widen it out as much as you can because it's just going to make your job a lot easier. See that? So we just going around and closing edges and stuff. This is the third. If you got a little bit you can spare so you won't have to work too hard, just pop it right there. We still gonna close it in properly though. So same technique again. And just play with it like you would play with Play-Doh or something like that. And get you a nice little shape going on. Okay, so as you see, all we doing is closing it in. We just binding this together. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go and wet my gloves so I can smooth this out. Take that water, and as you see how that water just smoothing my loaf out? That's what you're looking for. And you don't have to do it if you want to keep it lumpy, go ahead, but as you guys know, I like my food to look pretty. And presentation is everything. So see how that water just smoothed it on out? And it's closing up some cracks. That way when it bake and when it's cool to get cut, it's going to do it right. And now this is oven ready. We're going to put this in the oven, and you want it to bake a little longer than what you will let your regular meatloaf bake, because anytime you're stuffing a meat with anything, you want it to bake longer. So I'll let you guys know exactly the timing on that once we take it out. But we're going to go ahead and pop this buddy in. Hope I gave great instructions. We'll be back with the final setup and plate up and bust down. We're going to bust it open so you guys can see the inside and let all of those goodies ooze out on camera. Be back in a sec. Okay, so now we back. We have allowed our lasagna loaf to cook. It took a minimum of 35 minutes. Now this is what you're looking for the finished product. Now this finished product is before we top it with marinara or your tomato sauce. I went with a tomato sauce and I put diced tomatoes in it, and I mixed it with a little white wine, oregano, little minced garlic, and a little salt. That simple. If you want to throw extras in like a little red wine mixed with that white, black pepper, whatever, it's totally up to you. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and top this off with some of this sauce. Because what is a meatloaf? Oops, lasagna loaf without sauce. That's what we're looking for. And we're going to go ahead and do another ladle. So now we're going to cut this baby open and see how we looking. I'm going to do it from the middle. So I'm going to allow my camera guy to get up in there because we want to see exactly what these pastas and these ingredients and cheeses has done. So we going directly in the middle and we're going to bust it open. OMG, do you see that? That is a freaking lasagna loaf. That is genius. That is going to be something amazing, something awesome. And I want to just let you guys see how beautiful it is with just that red going down the middle on each side. Look at that. And that's how your lasagna loaf is going to look. Again, you have your cheeses, your pastas, the rest of your ingredients, which is your minced garlic, your tricolor peppers, and also your cheeses on top. This is just a inside out lasagna. The meat is not in the inside, it's built on the out. We built it with everything on the inner and brought it to the outer surface. That is just beautiful. Look at that. That's just beautiful. And again, I mean, we love our sauce, so you can always just make it look just really. And I'm going to definitely do a plate up, but this is just beautiful. Look at that. And it's not as much money or costly that it will be when you making the traditional big pan of lasagna. This is really great. Final plate up. We'll be back in a sec. Lasagna loaf. Voila. You know, pasta dear to my heart.